Hello and welcome to Blitz with Bacon, where today I will be looking at the Tier 9 IS-8 heavy tank, which is an early version of what would later become the T10. The vehicle itself in this video is in its stock configuration, featuring Tier 8 tracks, turret and gun, and then a Tier 9 engine. Crew mastery level is at 75%, and I have installed consumables consisting of engine power boost, multi-purpose restoration pack, and adrenaline. I also have some provisions installed, condensed milk and extra combat rations improving the overall performance of the tank, and then improved fuel boosting the drive performance of the vehicle. My ammunition consists of UBR-71 armor piercing and UBR-71P APCR, with 10 of the AP rounds and 5 of the APCR, which takes up 15 of the vehicle's 30 ammo slots. The game in this video was a standard battle 7 vs 7, and I was also with a squad mate who was in the KV-4. The first enemy vehicle I come across this game is a T-49 American Tier 8 light tank. I do get a shot off, but unfortunately it doesn't pen and I do not get any damage onto his vehicle. And before I can get another shot off, he escapes and then is subsequently killed by another friendly tank. But not to worry, there is going to be plenty more opportunity to get more kills in this game. After that, I then have my spotting system show me where majority of the enemy team is. They are essentially on the other side of the map, and I have hard cover in between me and them, which allows me the opportunity to flank around and get to a more suitable position to engage the enemy. I then change direction to head in to the side of the enemy and see a Centurion fire a shot off, just under 400 health points removed. Decent first hit of the game on an enemy vehicle. There aren't really at this point any other enemies near me, or looking at me at least, that are a major threat, so I take the time just to wait for that Centurion to pull out again, hoping to get a bit more damage on his vehicle. He gets close to moving out, fires a shot, then moves back again, obviously being fairly cautious. IS-3 moves out, luckily not looking at me, but then again, I don't really want to shoot him as the chance of hitting that small area where I can pen is relatively low. But again, as you saw, the Centurion moved out again, allowing me to put a shot into his side and get some more damage on that vehicle. I then move away as there were quite a few enemies in that area, and I don't really just want to get swarmed by multiple enemy vehicles. So I make the decision to move away and go to where there are more of my team members, so I can have some backup if they were to come in my direction. Now I come across this Jagdpanther 2 who is in a long-range shooting battle with a VK-100. If you know what the VK-100 is, you will know that it is very heavily armoured. Does have a fair weak spot though on the lower frontal plate, which will come into play a little bit later. Get a shot off on this tank destroyer, but unfortunately I then take a hit from that VK-100, does a fair amount of damage, but I do still have at least majority of my health remaining. With the VK there, I decide I don't want to go into sort of a head-on fight with him, and decide to move around and attempt to take the high ground, which my squad mate of course follows me in doing. Now, it is now 4v4 at this point in the game. We have a Su-100 up on the hill, Jagdpanther 2 back down where we were previously, who then does begin to flank the enemy forces. But the main problem here is that all the enemy vehicles are relatively closely spaced together. That of course will mean that if I pull out to fire at one of them, it's fairly likely another one will then shoot me and do damage. Really, what we want to do here is thin out the herd and get them to separate themselves so we can then engage them a bit more easily without the risk of being killed ourselves. Firstly, the Su-100 fires at the Centurion, does a lot of damage. I then pull out, fire a shot into the side of the Cent, and he is taken down. That's my first kill of this game. We then have this tank destroyer who I damaged earlier moving up the hill. My squad mate takes him out, and I do get destruction assistance for that, as I of course did damage him earlier. Now it's just the VK-100 and the IS-3. Now me and my squad mate for some time will be focused mainly on the VK-100. He sort of comes up to this ramp and is trying to push us, we're trying to push him, and that's a bit of a back and forth. But then we get his health down. I then actually have to take out the IS-3, who for now at least is going to be focusing on our team's Jagdpanther 2. But at least for me and my squad mate, the VK-100 is our main concern at the current time. I do fire a shot and knock out his track, unfortunately just missing that lower frontal plate, but I did also block some damage from him. My squad mate did actually get a hit onto him just before I fired, did a fair amount of damage. I then begin to move back, and my squad mate actually goes forward to try and get a hit. Unfortunately, the VK does hit him and does do a fair amount of damage, and my squad mate very quickly then retreats, despite me driving into him, which probably wasn't the best move. We then both move forward, attempting to push the VK. He is currently hiding. Then I see that the Jagdpanther 2 is having a very difficult time with the IS-3. Long range shot, just wait for the gun just to get aimed up on the back of that turret. I fired the shot, and obviously that took him out, taking out the remainder of his health. VK's fairly badly damaged at this point. I've loaded up APCR just to make sure I can pen, and I fire at the lower frontal plate, goes in, and luckily takes out his vehicle. 3 kills there, and that was the end of the game. Well, there we go. That was my first game in the IS-8, and overall I would say it was relatively successful. We of course won the game, just over 2,000 damage done by me, and 3 enemy vehicles destroyed. I did unfortunately lose credits from that game due to the fact of the APCR rounds being rather expensive, so I might actually remove a few of them from my loadout. I did get more kills than anyone else on my team, but the Su-100 got more damage, and as you will see here, I did actually get hit twice, both times by that VK-100, one of which did pen and did do damage, and the other of which bounced. But anyway though, that's more or less it. Good first game. Do let me know what you think of that in the comments, and of course I will likely revisit this vehicle in the future once I have got some more modifications for it, which will hopefully improve its performance. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, please consider dropping a like, maybe even subscribe to the channel. If you do, that would be very much appreciated. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.